and welcome to another university themed video. Today I'm very excited because I'm going to be doing my first Q&A. This is a collection of questions I've gotten over the past like 4 months or so as I've been posting a lot of university-based content, and I'm excited to talk all about Ryerson, my program, my life at university, all of that jazz. If you guys are new to my channel, hello, my name is Katie. I would love it if you could subscribe, and if you're coming back, hello, welcome back. Today's video is also kind of sad because this is the last video I'm going to be filming in this room. I moved out of this apartment in 5 days, which is honestly insane, and I'm very sad to be moving, but I'm excited to see what the future holds. So if you guys want to see the behind the scenes of moving, be sure to check out my vlog channel. Before I ramble on too long, let's start talking about the questions that people asked. I'm so excited. So the first question is from Nicole Cruz, and she says, "Hi, what is your degree and is it hard to get accepted to Ryerson?" So I am currently a 4th year in a program called Graphic Communications Management, which is shortened down to GCM. Honestly, for me applying to Ryerson, I applied with an 84 average, and my program wasn't very competitive at the time, so it wasn't too difficult to get into, but I know it really depends on the program you're applying for. The next question is, how is graphic design communication? Do you like it, and what exactly do you do? So the first thing I want to say, it is not graphic design, it is graphic communications management. Very different. The program itself is not very creative, it is more on the technical side. I personally don't really love it. It has gotten easier as I've gone through it in the sense that I've grown more accustomed to it and don't dislike it as much. But honestly, not a great program for me, but I also don't know what would be a better program. The program has a lot of business courses and a lot of technical courses, as in we measure ink, we measure paper, we do a lot of the workflow and the process of getting to print, but not the actual design process of print. It's kind of a hard program to understand until you're in it. It's very technical and has a lot of computer work and has a lot of report writing, but it's not design or creative based at all. So this person asked me a ton of questions. I did reply to it, but I thought I would touch on some of them here. So the first one was, what was your high school average? Is it a competitive program to get into, and when did you hear back? So as I said, my high school average was an 84. It wasn't very competitive when I've applied. I know it has gotten more competitive because they've changed the curriculum, but I think as long as you have decent grades, it shouldn't be too hard to get into. And I heard back in January or February. I applied in December, so I heard back pretty early. I think it is pretty standard to hear back in like March though. What other programs did you apply for, and why did you choose GCM? So the 2 other programs I applied for, one was at York and it was graphic design, and one was OCAD and it was graphic design. I knew I liked the design field. I ended up choosing GCM because I didn't think I was talented enough myself to be a designer, but I wanted to do something in the creative field, and I thought this way I could work with designers. I still think this, but I also do kind of wish that I applied more towards a design program. We'll see where life takes me. What kind of courses are you taking? So in the first year you take more general courses, some business courses, a little bit of design courses, and some intro into like the print industry. Honestly, if you're really curious about what kind of courses you take, you can look on the program's website and it will list them all, and normally there's a description of the course so you kind of have an idea of what you're going into. What are your classes like in terms of size and distance from one another? So Ryerson itself is a fairly small campus in my opinion. At the most, my courses are about 10 minutes from each other, which is perfect. And size-wise, my GCM courses, most of them are all program lectures, which I think is about 100 to 120 people, so not very big. And then all program or like lectures and other ones normally range from like 30 to 150. So in general, Ryerson is pretty small lecture sizes. The next question is, do you live off campus? Loved your vlogs, by the way, so thank you for watching. I'm so happy you enjoyed them. And I do live off campus. I did live on campus my first year. I lived in Ilk. I do have a lot of videos from when I lived in Ilk. If you want to creep back on my channel, you can see my life there. That's when I started my YouTube channel. Currently, I live like 2 minutes off campus, and for my final semester, I'm going to be living like half hour from campus. But I do live off campus. I really enjoyed residence, but 1 year was enough for me. So Nadia asked me, I loved your video about Ryerson since I recently got accepted. Congratulations, I hope you chose to go here, that's so exciting. What res would you recommend most to an out-of-province student, and why? There's Ilk, and then there's also Pittman. Pittman is the more typical residence experience where you have roommates and it has like the white brick walls. I think Pittman looks like a lot of fun. If you want to make friends easily, I think like the apartment style would be very ideal. You get an individual bedroom and you get to share common space with 4 other people. If I didn't live in Ilk, which was all single bedrooms, I probably would have chosen an apartment style in Pitt. So that's probably what I would recommend. What is it like to live in the city? Do you like it or does it get irritating after a while? So I absolutely adore living in Toronto. I grew up about an hour and a half out of the city and I have such a love for both. I do love living in the city. I live right near Yonge and Dundas, so right near campus. I don't think I would stay in this area much longer. I've kind of grown tired of it. It's just very touristy and busy, but there's always something to do and it's such a fun place to live and all of my friends are close and school's close and convenient. I just truly, truly love this city. I can't even express how much I love Toronto. And how would you describe the campus atmosphere? So Ryerson's atmosphere is interesting. It is not a typical university feel because it's built right into the city. So one second you're walking through the city and the next second you're on campus. It's very busy and urban. There is some grass, we have a quad, it's a fairly small campus, and I'd say it's kind of like an artsy feel. It doesn't feel very like fancy or fratty or anything like that. We don't have fraternities or sororities. It's very like chill, but like there's a really cool group of people on campus. How is the social life at RU and do you commute? So as I said, I don't commute, I live right off campus. Most people on campus do commute though, so that does leave it kind of weird, especially on weekends. Like campus is dead because there's no one living on it really. The social life, it's very interesting. I feel like there's a very strong break between the commuters and the people that live downtown, just because the experience is so different. Most people who are living downtown, they're either living on their own or a handful of them do live with their parents. So I find there is just also a difference of what it's like to live on your own and live still with your family. The social life's good. There's something to always do. If you are wanting to make friends, there's always ways to make friends. There's a campus bar, which is always poppin'. So this person said, I'm a fall 2018 applicant to Ryerson and I was wondering whether it was a smart idea to have a car to drive in the downtown area or is public transport a better option? I'll be living on campus. Honestly, don't bring your car. That's my opinion. Parking is ridiculously expensive in Toronto. There's nowhere to park. It's just not worth it. Anywhere you need to go, you can get to on the TTC. What are some cool clubs to join? Any tips on meeting new people? What are the easiest and hardest courses? Favorite parts about Ryerson? Thanks for the videos. They're really helpful. Oh, that makes me happy. I'm glad that you found them helpful. Some cool clubs to join. Depending on your program, each program normally has a handful of clubs. I'm not involved in any because I don't have school spirit apparently, but I have some friends who are in some GCM ones and they really, really love them. I know the business program has a lot of them. There's a lot of conferences you can work for. There's a lot of opportunity if you just go looking for it. Facebook groups are normally posting different clubs. I think there's a website that shows it. There's also intramurals, which are apparently really fun. So there's a lot of opportunity. Any tips on meeting new people? I really struggled with meeting people in my first year. I've done some videos talking about that. I'll link all of my like really helpful university videos that at least I think are helpful in the description. Meeting new people, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Say hi to the people you sit in lecture with, add them on Facebook, follow them on Insta, put yourself in their life. Ask people to go to lunch with you. I don't know what else you can do. Join clubs, yeah, that would help. I mean, I didn't do that, but I'm sure it would help. What is the easiest and hardest courses? So your girl isn't very good at math. I really struggled with my accounting courses and also my marketing courses. Those were mandatory in my program. But some easy ones I found, in my opinion, communication courses are fairly easy. Sociology courses are fairly easy. I'm on the hunt for some like simple electives to take next year. Oh, I just took a news studies course, like a journalism and NS course. Super easy, super interesting. I'd recommend those. Favorite parts about Ryerson. I really, really love the atmosphere. As I've said, I don't necessarily love my program, but I really enjoy the campus and the vibe of it. It's really cool, really urban. I love living in Toronto. Yeah. Awesome video. Too bad there aren't really almost any genuine and personal videos from Ryerson, but keep it up, Katie. That's so kind. Thank you. Also, I have a friend who posts a lot of Ryerson videos too. If you want to watch Just Julia Beauty, I think that's her channel name, I'll link her down below. She's super helpful and she's in first year right now, so you can get kind of two experiences of a first year and a fourth year. But I'll link her down below because she's great. Can you do a video on living with roommates, such as experience, how to make friends, finding student housing off campus, and what to bring when you're going to live alone for the first time? This is a really good question, and I think I'll do a full video about it maybe like in the summer, but as of right now I wanted to touch on this really quick. So I have been living with the same roommates for 3 years. We met in our first year in residence and it has worked so well. We've done the roommate tag, I'll link that down below if you want to see that. But they are two of my favorite people and it has been so great living with them. If you're looking for somewhere to live and you don't know anyone in the city, I would say Facebook groups are a great way to find that. There's like Toronto housing pages, you can like type that into Facebook. And there also is a variety of student housing that's off campus, but a lot of the times it is very similar to residence prices. I know there's Neil Wysick, which is really popular. I was actually just there today visiting a friend. I know Parkside's very popular, and there's like some more handfuls of stuff. So those could be helpful to look at. They are fairly pricey though. Have you experienced frustrations and struggles when you started university? Honestly, yes. My first year of university was extremely difficult. I was extremely lonely, unsure of myself, and it was a rough time. I made this video called What No One Tells You About Your First Year of University or something along those lines, and it's done really well on my channel and I've gotten amazing feedback from it. People say they really relate to it, and it's kind of me trying to be honest and share what I think no one tells you and what you need to hear, because it's okay to be lonely, it's okay to be stressed. I'm gonna have that link down below. Super helpful. I think it would be a good watch if you feel like you are nervous for university or have struggled through your first year or any point. It's just, university's hard. I'm applying to RTA this year and want to get in so bad. This was so helpful. Can you do a video of what you liked and didn't like about Ryerson and living in downtown in general? So I'm just gonna give like 2 or 3 pros and cons. So let's start with the good. I have loved the campus vibe. I have loved the people I've met here. It's a very interesting and dynamic mix of people. I grew up in a very small white town, and it's nice to be exposed to different cultures and different people and different religions. It's just like a complete culture shock in the best way possible. It's so dynamic and there's kind of something for everyone here. The city, everything goes, and you can be who you want to be and dress how you want to dress and just live your best life. Ryerson, it is a generally pretty small campus, so it's easy to get around. You get the hang of the downtown core really easy, and you get to know the city really well. I love that. Cons, it is the city, so there's always something crazy happening. There's just like that exposure to danger. Like people get pepper sprayed or there's shootings, and it just makes you a little nervous. But overall, I felt very safe. Campus has a very safe feel and security is there to help you if you need it. One of the big downsides is there's a lot of rats. It's more often than not that I'm walking on campus, I see a rat at night. That's not great. They're a little cute but also scary. Okay, this is a big collection of questions. I'm going to just grab bits and pieces as we go. So, is university really how teachers in high school describe it to be? Honestly, I've been in high school for so long that I don't really remember. I remember them saying that like your university professors won't hold your hand, they won't help you through this, they don't care if you don't hand things in, they won't know you by name, which was very different. I'm in a very small program. I know all of my professors by their first name, they know me by my first name. So that was definitely a different fit. I'd say bits and pieces of it are. It's definitely a very different experience than high school, but not necessarily like too shocking. I don't know. What's the most difficult thing to adjust to in university? I would say just the schedule of things. You don't have an 8 to 3 or a 9 to 4 like routine anymore. Your whole routine has changed because you're working, you're going to school completely different hours, and you have complete control over whether you hand in your project or whether you go drinking with your friends. So just like renegotiating your responsibilities and your time management. What attracted you to Ryerson? Honestly, the idea of living downtown, but all the schools I applied to were downtown. What steps do you take to balance your social and educational life? So, if you didn't know, I have worked 2 jobs and balanced 6 courses for the past year. So I work about 30 hours a week, and I work as a volunteer Girl Guide leader, and I somehow have a social life. So mine is writing to-do lists and using procrastination to my advantage. I am a big procrastinator, so I've just been ensuring that when I'm procrastinating, I am doing other things that need to be done. YouTube has definitely taken kind of a fallback this year, but it takes a while just to build a routine and get used to your routine. Is going to university a good place for someone to find their passion or purpose? That is a really, really good question. I think so. I think people will be able to find things they're passionate about, and if they don't enjoy what they're doing, they can switch into something else and find something they're more passionate about. I don't necessarily think you're going to love your entire process, but that's life. You're never going to have 100% love for it. I think it is a good way to figure out what you're interested in and what you're not interested in, and it allows you to grow a lot as a person, especially moving away from home if that's what you choose to do. You grow a lot when you don't live at home. If you weren't studying what you were in your current program, which other program would you transfer to? So I was to transfer to something, I would probably have transferred to RCA, which is Radio, Television, and Arts. My roommate Erin's in that. It's more of like the video editing and the more creative side of that. If Ryerson had a design program, I probably would have done something like that, but they don't. So I probably would have went into like a digital media type of thing. Honestly, I didn't because I was scared to transfer and I didn't think that was something you could really do. And also, like, none of my credits would transfer and I felt like it would be wasteful, which I wish I kind of had just transferred. I don't know. I don't hate my program now that I'm finishing it, but it definitely has been a struggle to get there. How do your daily class schedules typically work in a day? Is it 1 class per day like a high school schedule? Not at all. So this semester, how my days worked, they were a little hectic. You really get to kind of plan your own schedule. If you're taking most courses, you need to take at least 3 hours, but sometimes they're split up like 2 hours and 1 hour, 1.5, whatever. So they're just like, you have to fill all those times. So if you're taking in standard 5 classes, you take 15 hours a class a week, but it's broken up on which days you take it, Monday through Friday, and it can be anywhere from like 8 a.m. till like 9 p.m. So who knows? So this last question is about my program once more, and this is someone named Amanda who's been admitted to GCM for 2018. Congratulations, that's exciting. They are wondering if it's less design based than you hoped. I would say yes. I don't like that the program is very stuck. You have like a variety of classes that you have to take and you don't get much option than that. Then again, the program did switch and I knew the new curriculum elaborates for more freedom, which you guys are lucky. I don't think you get that much more, like my friend Allison's in it and she says it's not that great, but you get a little more freedom. So, not necessarily more design option, but more freedom in the courses you pick. I do wish it was more creative. That is a letdown for me, but it did lead me to making YouTube so that I had more creativity in my life, so that's okay. Are the classes irrelevant to what you need to know for the workplace? Yes and no. I think a lot of our curriculum is 10 years in the past and it needs to be updated, but it hasn't. And I am definitely going to speak to some of my professors about that as I leave the program because, yeah. How are the current job outlooks? Do you think you will find placements soon after graduation? So most of my friends are graduating right now and a lot of them have had a lot of success through even our program's job fair. They've found a lot of careers and a lot of people I know have had no problem getting a job, which is amazing. I think it's because our program is a fairly like tight-knit community. We have a lot of industry connections and we have a lot of opportunity because the program itself is fairly broad. So that's something that's great. That's kind of the one thing that kept me going through GCM. They tell you when you start you are going to be offered a job starting at 40K at a 90% hiring rate. 40K is a little high. A lot of my friends are not being offered quite that much, but I think it is a great opportunity and there's lots of room for growth in the program. I personally do think I will have a fair amount of success after graduating just because I've already worked 2 industry jobs. One of the great things about GCM is they make it mandatory for you to do an internship between your 3rd and 4th year, and it has to be a paid internship. So you get some work experience and you make some industry connections. All in all, who would you recommend the program to, or would you even recommend it at all? So that's a hard question. I would recommend it to some people because I do have a lot of friends that love the program, which is great for them. I don't get it, but it's great for them. I would recommend it to someone who's kind of interested in business and kind of interested in the creative field, but isn't completely wanting to be like really creative. They kind of want to just work with creative people. They want to do something technical and something computer based, but they don't want to go strictly into the business world. And my last question is about someone else who got accepted to GCM. Congratulations, Caitlin. She's wondering what the job options are after school. Would she be able to work as a graphic designer with this program? So, all in all, I would say you could work as a graphic designer, but this program doesn't make you qualified to be a graphic designer. You really have to have your own passion to do this. Pretty much the jobs you'd be doing more are like production, so whether that's actually binding and finishing something, so actually cutting paper and printing paper and putting a spine in it, you could do that. You could go into like the publishing side and like book marketing and selling and buying. You could go into the pre-press, so a designer sends you files and you set them up to make sure they're ready to print. I wouldn't say you would technically be doing the design side, you'd be more doing the prepping for print and making sure that you're going to be producing a high quality product. You can also go into sales, that's apparently a big thing with GCM. Anyway, I hope this video was kind of interesting. And I hope I didn't sound like I hate GCM too much. I have definitely been trying to look at it in a more positive way because I've spent $40,000 on it and I know I will get a good career option out of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about GCM and Ryerson. If you have more questions about university in general or any suggestions on videos you'd like to see, because I have no idea what I'm going to film this summer, please let me know. Be sure to check out the week in my life if you want to see how my exams are going. That's coming out next week. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week, a wonderful month, a wonderful university career. I hope you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.